Hello and welcome to my last Joann's haul, y'all. It's been a while since I shot anything in horizontal. So I'm super excited to be back, but I'm sad that this is the reason why I'm back. So in this video, we're gonna go over a few things. First, I'm gonna go over how you should navigate the final liquidation sale that's going on across every Joann's. And then we are going to go over my giant haul, okay? Because there are things that I learned today in shopping this giant haul that I wish I knew before getting into the store. Let's get to it. So when I pulled up to my local Joann's, please excuse my Pinot Grigio. It's 11 a.m. It's fine. Anyway, when I first pulled up to my Joann's, I pulled up at 9:58, already embarrassed that I got there right before the store opened. I hate inconveniencing the employees, okay? My embarrassment got worse when I saw the entire town also pulling up at the same time, and we all looked around at each other and started giggling because everyone had the right idea. I was trying to get in and out of Joann's before church ended, and apparently everyone else had that right idea. And I've heard from other shoppers is that if you tried going not at opening, if you go middle of the day, lunch, mid-afternoon, the line for fabric cutting and for checkout will be out the door. Now, my Joann's has always had a slow checkout. It's just an antiquated system. It's not on the employees. And so that's why I went early. Little did I know that by the time I got to the store, I was already, and I shopped around a little bit. As I shopped around, before I finished looking at fabric, because my goal here was to buy fabric and not yarn, and I'll explain that later in the video. I wasn't even done looking for fabric. I immediately grabbed a ticket. So first I made sure they were taking tickets. I took my ticket. I was number 17. Mind you, I'm number 17 after the store's only been open for 10 minutes tops, okay? And so I asked around who was number 16. Okay, that's another thing I did because I didn't want to miss my spot as I went and I circled around and looked at fabric in peace. And the reason why I was able to look in peace was because everyone was in line, worried that they'd lose their spot. But once I confirmed with the employee that we are doing tickets, I told her, hey, I'm number 17. Graciously, she wasn't as busy yet. She was getting there, bless her heart. And so I took my ticket and then I shopped. So my advice is to get there first, get your ticket if they're doing tickets, and then shop and keep an eye out. So I use the Joann's app and I absolutely love their app. They have one of the better big box store apps that I've ever seen for crafting. And unfortunately, as of now, the app is inaccurate. So if you're looking at the app and you're hoping to do store pickup, it's not gonna happen. You have to go in store, and I'm so sorry. I was hoping to do store pickup. Everyone in my town is sick. I freaking forgot my mask. I have to get a new box of masks for my car. And so I understand that it's hard for a lot of us to go out and shop. But unfortunately, this is one of those things that you have to go out and get the things in person. Okay, now let's look into what your plan of action should be for buying. So I highly recommend going for fabric. Every fabric that I bought today has only been 20% off. And I say only because if you're an avid Joann shopper like I am, that is not a big discount. But the reason why I took it at 20% off and didn't wait for it to get further was because my store is the only fabric store that sells fashion fabrics in my area. So as a result, everything in my store has been picked over since last week. So if you're waiting for prices to go down beyond 20%, just know that you should just keep an eye on what they have in stock. If you like it, I recommend just buying because you may not be able to get it later. Also, I've noticed a lot of people were not buying yarn, and that's one of the reasons why I did not buy yarn. The yarn was not discounted enough to warrant stocking up. unless you're a big fan of their house brand, Big Twist. And I love me some Big Twist, okay? I highly recommend staying clear of the yarn section because everything else, Yarnspirations, Lion Brand, I think those are the two big ones. All those big staple, big box yarn that you love, you can get that at a better discount from their actual website. So for example, Lion Brand is always having sales. So if you are not a big fan of Joann's Big Twist, then I would not recommend going for the yarn. And I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't even go for the notions. So when looking at tools, I absolutely didn't even glance at the Big Twist tools, and I own a lot of them. And the reason why was because I found that the quality wasn't great for the price. So maybe if they go down to $1, you know, I might buy some for gifts and goodie bags, but I rather invest that money into a smaller business that I know make quality products such as Katrinkles, such as Cocoa Knits, Lemonwood. These are all great small businesses that make products at a good price. Not only did I skip over yarn notions, but I also skipped over the buttons, I skipped over sewing notions, I skipped over the zippers because the sales on those also weren't that great. I'm lucky enough to live a second from a Meijer, which is a local grocery store chain here in the Midwest. And my Meijer has a wonderful craft selection for all those notions if I need to run out and get it same day. Also, I just rather buy those from smaller businesses as well. The prices don't seem to change that much, especially if you shop the sales. I did grab one notion that I could not leave without, and that is Wonder Tape. In Wonder Tape, I use this. This is a wash away bonding tape that I use to hem my dresses in record time. So if I don't have enough time to do a full 1 inch, 2 inch hem, you know, fold stitch, whatever, this is just quicker. It's a 1/4 inch, but it's still really quick and really nice. So that's the only thing I made an exception for from Notions, was something I just can't live without. I also use this for teaching a ton. If you took my zipper knits class in New York City, in which we talked about how to use this as opposed to a million push pins, or not push pins, but straight pins, this was amazing to use because it sticks to your fabric and it washes away. So you don't have to poke yourself with pins. One thing I wish I did that I did not do was I wish I invested in a ribbon. I think it's called a ribbon label maker. I'm gonna try to put a picture of it right here. And what I really wanted this for was to label my son's hand knitted and hand sewn garments with his name on it, so that way I don't have to worry about it getting lost. However, they sell these things everywhere, and I'm sure I could get a deal on it if I don't manage to pick it up in store, because everything in my store is severely picked over despite it not having the best sale right now. I also went to my Joann's. This is gonna sound really morbid, but I also went to my Joann's because I wanted to see if they were starting to sell fixtures. I have my eye on one of these, which is a rotating sewing pattern tower. I have a ton of simplicity patterns, and I am on the lookout for collecting more true vintage patterns. So as a result, I need some storage. I also think some of my knitting patterns and some of my quilting patterns would also go greatly in this thing. So I will be looking back, and I'll report back if they start selling the actual carcasses of Joann's, including the storage. Speaking of storage, I also found that the storage options in my store were not discounted enough for me to buy it, to panic buy. I'm always on the lookout for storage. You could probably see a puddle of knitwear behind me that just does not have a home yet because I need more storage. So just keep that in mind. If you're looking for storage items like me, I am just gonna wait until the store really needs help. Are my lips chapped? Oh my gosh. I chose this color because it probably hopefully won't get onto my teeth. Please let me know if my lipstick gets on my teeth. So let's take a look at my actual haul, y'all. My main focus is fabric. And I don't get to sew as much as I would like But when inspiration hits, I want to be able to have a fabric stash. And now I will say, after this, my stash is complete. I spent roughly $200 on fabric today at Joann's, and that is an absolute bargain for the fabric that I bought. First, I want to go by the receipt, so please excuse crinkling. I'm going to do the best I can to take the crinkling noises out. My first was an impulse buy, and I got my son 2 yards of this SpongeBob children's sleepwear fashion. My son is in love with SpongeBob, and so I had to get this for him. He really needs some new jammies. This is 100% cotton. It's gonna be perfect for the spring and summertime. And I plan on making him like a vintage sleepwear set, or as much as I can get with 2 yards, because there wasn't a lot of this left. So that's what I got him. This is over 2 yards, and it was $21.65. This is a licensed fabric, and so that's a little bit high for what I would pay if I were paying their final sale prices, but I was worried about things running out, and so I'm still happy with the 20% off because my store was picked over. I will be throwing these fabrics in a pile because I like to wash my fabrics as soon as I get them from the store, just in case there is a stain on it. I want to be able to get the stain out before it sits for a while, just in case I don't get to my project as quick as I would like. Next, I got Beauty with Brains. I have been eyeing this fabric forever. It's an Alexander Henry print, and it is a bunch of pinups, zombie pinups, and I plan on making a 1950s style dress. Well, it's going to be a true vintage pattern using this modern quilting fabric. I love using quilting fabric for my dresses. I know it's not the best thing because of the way it hangs and drapes and it shrinks and all that jazz, but I love the prints that I can find in quilting fabric. It is so easy to work with. It's so easy to wash, and it's so easy to finish my seams. So you can pry this out of my dead hands. I cannot wait to make a dress out of this. I did actually find a matching zipper, and I did buy that. It's a little bit darker. I'm perfectly fine with that. And I bought that because I just didn't know if I'll be able to find a zipper while holding the fabric, if that makes sense. So I'll have to order all of my zippers from now on because it's hard to get zippers in matchy colors where I live. I don't have another fabric store that sells notions for garments. So I grabbed this, even though it's not the same. I'm trying to up my zipper collection anyway. And here's the hope that I find more matching zippers when I go to any like fabric thrift store. It costs $59.96, and then I got a remnants for $5.67 on top of that. So roughly like $67 for all that. And that was 6 yards of fabric. I got 6 yards because I'm making pockets, and I plan on making some matching sets for me and my husband. I also grabbed 4 yards of this print called Don't Gamble with Love, also by the same artist. I'm gonna try to dye some of them brown, so that way we have a little bit diversity. I've been eyeing this fabric for over a year, and I didn't buy it because I was waiting for them to come out with a more diverse pinup, ones that looked like me and my family. So I was hoping to do that, but I love this because these are all based on Sailor Jerry designs, and my entire sleeve is for the most part based on Sailor Jerry tattoo designs, because he was a tattoo artist, for those who don't know. And so it's just something that I resonate with, and I'm really excited to have a couple of dresses that are in the pinup style, and with this one being tattoo pinups. Love it. So yeah, this is only 4 yards. I already have a dress pattern that I love that takes 4 yards, and I'll have enough to make some pockets too. Next on the list I got was 3.5 yards of this bubble gauze. And when I bought this fabric last year, I bought it in a grain to make my son Guero set, I think is what it's called. I wore it for my birthday celebrations, and it was my favorite set that I've made, and I desperately wanted to make more. And so I got enough to make another set. And I'm super excited. I love this caramel color. I think it's just like a really nice spring summer neutral. I'm gonna be honest, I hated working with this fabric because it's gauzy. And so gauzy fabrics, they tend to like rip and they're sensitive, and then it has wrinkles in it, so it's hard to get a precise cut for me because I'm a newbie. Ooh, I just got lipstick on it. Huh, good thing I'm washing it. So I'm really excited to get this going now that I've been working on sewing for the past year. I hope that this becomes an easier experience. It probably won't, but that's okay. Oh, and that fabric, it's 100% cotton bubble gauze. I paid $38 for it, and it's going to be able to make a full-on top and pants for $38. That's a good deal in this economy, I'm just saying. Next, I bought one of my favorite things to wear, and this is a smocked cotton fabric. I was really looking forward to shopping their new cotton fabrics this season, and I'm totally bummed that they won't be coming out with new ones. So I love this smocked fabric. I've been eyeing the butterflies for a while, and it is, as you can see, it's a little sheer. I do not care. And I just love how breathable it is. I made a dress out of this stuff. My husband got me a bunch of fabric for Mother's Day, and so that was one of the haul. That was part of the haul, and I made a dress in like 2 hours, and it became my most worn dress of the season. I wore it so much that as soon as it was off the hanger, because I would hang dry it, it was on my body because it's so breathable. It's so simple. It goes with everything. It packs super tight and well, and then to get the wrinkles out, you just hang it up while you're showering, you know, at the hotel if you're traveling with it, and bada boom, bada bang, you have a wrinkleless cotton dress that's super airy and perfect for so many climates. And it's supposed to be a one seam dress, and of course I had to overcomplicate it, and so in my version I added a ruffle, and I added elastic ruffled straps to add some pizzazz. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. I might do some off the shoulder sleeves, but I liked having straps because then I can wear a regular bra and then hide the straps. Of course, you can go braless with this as well. I just find this fabric to be quite irritating with the shearing. And now I'm bummed. I'm going to be shearing my own fabric now. And so also I got this bag. And shout out to the Joann's employee who didn't charge me for the bag, so thank you. And so that's my haul. I really hope that I helped some of you guys. I'm honestly, at first I was bummed that Joann's was closing, and honestly now I'm just excited to try all of these smaller brands that's been on my radar for a while, many of which are POC owned, Black women owned, and I'm really excited to shop from these online fabric stores. My main thing with Joann's that I'm bummed about was that if I need a specific notion or a specific item for my job, because I'm a full-time knitwear designer and teacher and author, I just won't get it. It just won't be available, and that's pretty sad for me. That being said, as you can see, I have a load of crap, and so I think I'll be fine in that department. Anyway, guys, I'm off to edit and eat some gluten-free ramen. Have fun, be safe, be nice to your Joann's employees. I heard a lot of them are struggling to find new jobs, and that makes me extremely upset. So be kind to everyone, be nice, and you never know whose day you're gonna brighten. All right, I gotta go join my son who is screeching at Mario Kart and eat some ramen. Deuces. By the way, she is purring.